Hi everyone, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and today I am here to show you how to create this awesome flap for our City Slicker 2. This flap is unique because it has a little tiny zipper pocket right here in the side seam, and then it has some rivets on the front there for added detail. I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're going to be working on today. So this flap is nice and quilted, and then on the inside we have the zipper, and on the outside we have another full-length zipper, two side pockets, and two front pockets, which will be concealed underneath of this flap. So the project is really coming along very nicely, and I am so excited to get this bag done. Hi everyone, it's Andrea here over at Sewspire.com, and we are going to start crafting the flap closure, which is going to go on our City Slicker 2, which is coming along absolutely beautifully. Last week we installed the interior, which has a recessed zipper closure, and then on the inside there are two slip pockets as well as a swivel key fob. On the exterior of this bag we have a rear full-length zipper pocket, two slip pockets on the side, the attachments for the strap, as well as two front slip pockets. And so it's a really nice sturdy bag that is absolutely perfect for a winter. And so for the flap closure, I am hoping that we're going to install a little small zipper pocket on the side seam of the flap there. And this would be ideal for like your chapstick or the to-do list, anything that you want to keep nice and close to you. And so this is a cut of the faux leather, which is really wonderful to work with. And this is a little 6-inch zipper that I have already installed the zipper pull on. This is Zipper by the Yard, and that's why it is fraying a bit at the top there. And so what I want to do is position that on that right hand side of the flap 2 inches up from the bottom, so it's the right hand side of it's laying on your surface. I am going to stitch that in place. Okay, and so that's what that looks like there. Then I want to take my quilted interior panel, and this is regular flannel fabric, and then I quilted that onto some Annie's Soft and Stable. And so I'm going to position these two panels right sides facing so that I can line up that side and determine where I need to attach this zipper. I'm just going to sneak some clips inside of there so I can hold that. I just want to make sure everything is aligned nice and straight, and that looks good. And so now I'm going to go ahead and stitch that zipper. So the zipper is like face down on that flannel. I'm going to stitch that in place. And you might have to sink your needle into the project and then lift up your presser foot and unzip that zipper to clear the zipper pull. So when you're working with the zipper by the yard, there are no zipper stops on there. So with this, you'll have to be careful that you don't accidentally unzip your zipper, pull off of that. But this is what you should have, something that looks like this. And then what you want to do now is create the actual pocket part, which will eventually lay flat against the pocket, but you need somewhere for the contents to go. So I have a rectangle of that wonderful flannel, and I press that in half, right sides facing, and I just want to stitch down the right and left hand sides of this. 5/8 of an inch seam allowance is fine. And so I basically have created the little pocket slip, and now what I want to do is attach this carefully here by peeling back that and lining it up with a zipper. And so that's what it looks like. I just folded one side over so that I can slip that up on there, and I want to attach this pocket lining to the vegan leather on the exterior, and I am staying within that original seam allowance so that I'm also securing this pocket lining to that zipper tape. Up, that will make more sense to you. So I've just attached one part of the pocket lining there. Then I want to flip this over to the other side, and I'm going to be able to attach the pocket lining on that side now. And it might be easier if you work on the side. I suggest you flip that over and work on the side so you can actually see what the pocket lining is doing. Okay, so that'll make more sense when you see it like this. So this was what we first did, was attach the zipper to the exterior and interior of the flap, and now we just attach the pocket in the same way. And if I was really careful, I could unzip that pocket, and you could see I now have my little pocket lining in there, but nothing is very secure yet because I have to actually reinforce this zipper. So what this does allow me to do is position the interior and exterior of my flap nice and flat, and I know I have my zipper in place, and I have the actual pocket in place as well. So I want to go ahead and clip those corners so that doesn't shift too much. And that's what that looks like on this side here. And so now I'm going to come back in on this side here where the pocket and the zipper are, and I am going to go ahead and stitch using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance about 1/2 inch into that pocket, and then I'm going to pivot and come across so that I close off the end of that zipper. And I want to make sure you get a really good view of this. So I have 5/8 of an inch seam allowance up here on the machine, and I am going to come down. Okay, so when you are stitching down that initial 5/8 of an inch, push your zipper teeth away so you don't break a needle like I just did. And I'm just going to start from the top and go over that one more time. Okay, so I'm coming in past that pocket a 1/2 inch. I made sure my zipper teeth are out of the way. And then I'm gonna lift up the presser foot, turn, and pivot that in. And I don't want to break this needle again, so I'm gonna go very slow and probably hand crank through those zipper teeth. Okay, so I'm getting close to those zipper teeth, so we'll hand crank through those. And once I know I'm on the other side of the zipper teeth, then I'm going to pivot and come back up to the top. And I want to show you what that looks like. That's going to give me a really nice stopper there for that zipper, and once the flap is done, that will kind of hide that zipper, but I wanted to show you what I'm trying to accomplish there. So now on the opposite side of this, we have to do the same thing. We want to come in 5/8 of an inch. Let's go ahead and push those zipper teeth out of the way for now. And then we're going to overlap that pocket. And I think it's going to be easier for me to work from this side. So I'm kind of sewing backwards. I don't like that so much. But it would definitely be easier to work on that side. So I think I'll get it started, but I'll have to do the detail work on the opposite side. So on this side, so I can use the seam allowance marker, I'm going to come down to the pocket. And I am nearing that area, and I want to reach in there and push that zipper tape out of the way, and I'm going to come a 1/2 inch past the pocket, and then I'm going to pivot and lower the presser foot and hand crank across those zipper teeth. And then once I know I am all the way across those zipper tape, then I will pivot and sew up that side to the top. I do back stitch right here just to reinforce that stress point. Alright, and now you can see I have this zipper in the seam of the flap, and it is just a tiny little zipper pocket there, which I really probably, if I really wanted to, I could fit my whole hand in there, but I might get it stuck in there. I mean, I can reach my fingers far enough in there to get whatever's in there. I'm going to see if the phone fits inside of there, and it does. And you could totally reach your phone, you know, with your fingers and pull it out. So I think the pocket is quite functional. It's just designed to be just a little hidey pocket there, and then the zipper pull adds a nice little touch of hardware. So it's not like it's meant to be a hidden pocket, but it's just a little surprise pocket, I should say. Okay, so I have the hard part done on that. Now I want to go ahead and lay this flap down nice and flat and sew up the right hand side using the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then when I get to the bottom, I'm going to pivot with the needle down and come across to the opposite side. Tons of dust with the sunlight. Isn't it amazing? You're always breathing that in. But to me, they're like little magical sewing fairies. Okay, so now I have the flap largely complete. Here's what it looks like. I do want to go in and go ahead and trim up some of these seams so that they sit nice and flat. I want to be careful though with the side with the zipper pocket, so I think I'm going to leave that alone unless I have no choice. I am going to angle these corners at the bottom and then trim up the opposite side to 1/4 inch. Okay, and now I'm going to reach inside of there and turn this around so I can see what the end result is. I want to poke out those corners good. And my zipper functions really nice. That's a great little pocket there. Okay, so I really like the flannel side of this pocket too. It's going to be a hard choice for me as to which is on the exterior of this bag. It's probably going to end up being the leather just for practicality purposes because you can wipe it clean. But basically here's what I have. A nice little flap there with a side zipper pocket. Now what I want to do is add some top stitching to this. Now obviously I can't top stitch down that side with the zipper because I'm going to end up closing up the zipper pocket, and that would defeat the purpose of installing that there. But I am going to top stitch up until that point, and then I'm going to see what that looks like. So this will take a little bit of finagling. I'm thinking I can kind of push that zipper down in there so that it's almost like a recessed zipper for a few minutes, and I would possibly be able to add a little top stitching across there. I'm going to have to play with that and see what happens with that. But I can definitely top stitch the other parts of this. So that's what I'm going to work on now. And I probably will use a very wide 5/8 of an inch top stitch for this. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay, let me see what it looks like. I think I'll start at the base so that I can just kind of gauge this. Yeah. Let me start with 1/4 inch and see what happens. See if I like the look. All right, here we go. So I have a 1/4 inch top stitching along one side and across the base. Now I have to come in on the side with the zipper and try and make that look uniform without stitching my zipper closed. So I'll start with the same 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to stop just as soon as I start to meet some resistance from those pocket layers. I'll go ahead and zip up the zipper, and again I'm going to start at the bottom. Same thing, just as soon as I start to meet that resistance. And then I'm going to go ahead and pivot and hook up with the original top stitching. Okay, and that doesn't look too bad. And again, I can still, if I really wanted, I could fit like 4 fingers into that pocket. And here's what it looks like from the front and from the side and from the back. I think this could be a great place to put some rivets. I am undecided though, like that would obviously call more attention to the pocket if you had the rivets there. And would it look strange? It could look strange. I'm not sure if I can get this up on the machine deck and keep top stitching for continuity. It would be really cool if I could. I think I might just leave it alone just like that though. Let me see if I can bring this up on here and push everything out of the way. I don't think so. I think that's going to be a little maddening. Let me bring over the rivets and see how those might look with this. And I have some really large rivets that would be great for going through all these layers. So let's see what those look like. And I think that is the answer to this dilemma. So I'm going to get 2 of these very big rivets and their caps. And by big, I mean that they're long. They can go through a lot of layers. The posts are longer than the regular posts, if you could see that. Okay, so I have 2 of those in place. I want to go ahead and mark where I want to punch these holes so that I don't get them too crooked. And I think this will add a nice touch to this. So I just use a white gel pen, and I have marked the holes where I'm going to add the rivets. And so I need to install the hole punch first. And before I punch this hole, I want to make sure that my pocket lining is not going to get trapped inside of those holes. It can go through the pocket lining. I just wouldn't want like the end of the pocket, and so the pocket's all scrunched up. That wouldn't be good because then the pocket wouldn't function, but it feels like it's down in there. So I'm going to put on the hole punch attachment and the base for that. And then I'm going to put this all up on there and hopefully punch a hole through all these layers. By golly, it worked. It's amazing. Then I'm going to put the post in there, and I'll put the cap on the back of that. And it is in place, no problem. And now I'm going to go ahead and punch the other hole while I'm here. And go ahead and get that post in place. No problem. Yay! I actually do like the look, so I'm happy I went this route. And now I have to switch this out and put the rivet press dies in. And then I put those up on there and give it a good press. And it just smashes it all right down. It actually looks really sharp. Nice. Wow, love the look. Okay, that worked out better than I'd hoped. So now I definitely have a little teeny tiny 4-finger pocket here, which with the rivets is a tight fit for the phone. It's in there, but it wouldn't be ideal for the bigger phone, I don't think. Now with the rivets made it a little smaller. But it's definitely good for something, right? Like lip gloss or something. And it certainly adds interest to this flap. So I do like that pocket. And I am happy I have it. So now I want to bring the bag back over here and get a better feel for how this flap is going to end up looking on here. Oh, I really do like that. That is very fun. I can't wait till I'm done with this lint though. All right, that's a good look. Okay, and it's only going to be like a 3/4 flap, not even a 3/4 flap, right? Like 2/3 of the bag. It's just meant to keep the contents of these front pockets secure. So this flap is going to tuck in between the exterior and interior layers and not very far down in there because it's not very long. So I'm going to try to clip that in place so I can show you what this looks like. And it's difficult because I have those big clips on the front there. Let me take those off. Oh my gosh, this bag is getting prettier by the second. Nice. Whew. What you just saw was me wrestling the top on this bag. The top is what I refer to as sewing around the perimeter of it. I knew it was going to be a challenge, and I just want to really encourage everyone, to go with the lightest interfacing possible. I way overdid it on this interfacing. The Annie's Soft and Stable would have been enough by itself, and I am regretting having added that Pellon 70. So save yourself a lot of struggles and use the appropriate amount of interfacing. So a few other updates for you. I did go in and add additional rivets to the flap so that that was more balanced. I have the 2 on the sides down there and then 2 at the top. We initially just had the rivets around the pocket, and I like the look of it balanced. And then I opted to install the magnetic snap because that was the easiest closure for me to go with, and I knew I could get it all the way through those layers and it would still function nice. The magnetic snaps are not typically the most secure closure, but because I have that zipper top, I'm not really worried about it being secure. I just wanted it to look good, and I am happy with the proportions with the snap and the rivets on this. So there was a little bit of trouble going around the top. I just cannot get through these rear seams here. I've cut away as much of the interfacing as I can. So what I am doing right now is gluing it, and I have the clamps on there so the glue can dry, and then I'm going to go back in and add some strategic rivets in there, which it will look fine. It will look like it's just, you know, a decked out bag, which it kind of is decked out for the holidays. So I'm not worried about how it's going to look, but this would not have been, you know, my first choice. Again, you can totally avoid this problem if you do not use too much interfacing for this. So that's what I'm doing so that I don't ruin my bag. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get to, you know, give you the grand tour of the City Slicker today. We are going to finish all of it, but next week when we meet to break down the pricing of this, the glue will be dry, obviously, and then I can give you the full tour of the bag. But that's an update of where we are with the exterior. Now I want to go ahead and show you how to craft the strap. So I'm going with the pre-made cotton web strap, and this is 1.5 inch webbing, and then I took a 1.25 inch piece of the faux leather and I just laid that right on top of there, and then ran a row of stitching down each side, and then I went ahead and installed 2 rivets there. So my strap length is 36 inches. This will not be long enough for a crossbody, but I will use this bag just as a shoulder bag or in the crook of my elbow. So you definitely want to go like 44 inches if you're going to use this as a crossbody. But I am going to show you how to create the crossbody strap so that you have a nice adjustable strap. So you can go ahead and thread on one of your 1.5 inch swivel fobs, and then working with one of the raw edges, you will want to thread on your tri-glide, and you're just going to be attaching the webbing around that center bar on the tri-glide, just like that. And so the center bar is, so just, it looks like that on the front, and then the center bar is on the back, and pull that down enough that you can fold that strap over on itself so you hide that raw edge there. And that's what that looks like on the side. And then go ahead and run 2 rows of stitching across there. my tri-glide or buckle slide is attached to one end just at the center, and I have a swivel fob on center. Then I'm going to take the remaining raw edge and I'm going to thread that up and over that center bar. And then back down. And that's what makes this an adjustable strap, because then even with that rivet on there, using this tri-glide, once I get it over that rivet, I can adjust the strap. And the faux leather is a really nice addition because it keeps that from sliding too quickly. So I think that's going to make for a really nice strap. Down here on the looped end, I have the swivel fob locked in by that tri-glide. Then I still have one more loose end here, which I am going to thread the second swivel fob on, and then I'm just going to take that end and fold it over on itself and stitch that in place. That is how you make an adjustable, removable strap, and that will allow me to have a nice little short strap that's going to be very comfy on the shoulder. It's beautiful. Really nice. Very, very nice bag. Well, I'd like to say that was fun, but that was absolutely a labor of love, this project. I am glad it is done, and I will put the finishing details on that and have it ready to show you next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. In that same video, we are going to price this bag completely out. You'll know what it costs to make, and then you will have a nice range of what you should charge if you are going to sell this bag. So that's a new feature that I'm adding to all the projects from here forward through 2022. I hope that that will be of value to you. I do have the PDF for the City Slicker 2 ready to go, and that is tucked inside of a 21 project bundle I'm calling Sewspire All Sewing Projects, and you can grab that at an extraordinary price right now in celebration of the holidays. So I'll put the link down in the notes for you. I want to wish everyone that will be celebrating Thanksgiving on Thursday a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope it is filled with light, love, and laughter. And I'd like to invite you to join me on Friday for my inspirational vlog, in which I will be talking about gratitude. So until then, as always, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. See you Friday!